Hey, beautiful souls, it's Monique Hom, and welcome back to Getting Real, the show where we pull back the curtain on what it really takes to create wealth, freedom, and a life you love. We're right in the middle of our special 20-week, seven-figure lifestyle series, and I've got to say, the insights so far have been game changing. Every week, I'm sharing powerful conversations with women running seven, eight, and even nine-figure businesses, women who've built empires without sacrificing joy, purpose, or peace. And today's guest is a total legend, Tracy Repchuk. She started her first company at 19, has spoken in over 40 countries. She's been featured in Forbes more than 24 times, and she's here to break down her $100,000 offer strategy. It's a simple, scalable model that's helping entrepreneurs make more by doing less. And now here's something most listeners don't know. These interviews were originally part of my seven-figure lifestyle summit, and the full VIP collection, all 20 interviews, plus over $4,000 worth of gifts, courses, and trainings is still available. If you've been loving these episodes, imagine having the complete series, the bonuses, and the private resources to actually implement what these experts are teaching. You can get lifetime access for just $99 at tinyurl.com/VIP seven figures. It's like getting a private mentorship library from 20 incredible women who've mastered wealth and freedom for less than what most of us pay for a nice night out for dinner. So let's dive into the conversation with Tracy Repchuk. Welcome back to the Seven-Figure Lifestyle Summit, where we're helping women scale not only their businesses, but their joy, alignment, and lifestyle to match their success. Today's guest is a powerhouse of online business strategy and visibility. Tracy Repchuk is a 9-time #1 international best-selling author, including the hit 31 Days to Millionaire Marketing Miracles from Wiley Publishing. She started her first software company at just 19 years old. And since then, she has spoken in over 39 countries. She's been featured in Forbes 27 times and appeared on national TV networks like ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. And I'm sure the pinnacle is this summit right now. She's a pioneer in digital marketing, branding, and automation. And today she's here to share her $100,000 offer, the seven-figure roadmap that has helped thousands of entrepreneurs scale with confidence and clarity. I'm kidding. Tracy, I'm so honored to have you here. Thank you for being here. What an honor.
Thank you for inviting me. I love to talk about this.
Good. Great. I'm so happy. Before we hit record, I've known you for quite a while. We're in this program together and I get to hear you every week, but I haven't really heard your story. So I'd love to hear more about your journey from starting this business at 19 to becoming a global digital strategist. That's incredible. So can you share a little bit about your story and what inspired you to do what you're doing now?
After 40 years in business, I literally have tried it all. And then in kind of 2005, I moved from the software to developing websites. I was doing that in like 1994 to internet marketing. So I was a veteran in this technology called landing pages, email marketing funnel, etc. But after the pandemic, the technology was not converting as well. And so I started to search for alternatives, which is what led me to seeking out this $100,000 offer. Now, I had done $100,000 offers before where you simply paid me that amount of money. I would actually set everything up, your brand, your website, your landing pages, emails, and do a year of business growth strategy and implementation with you. But it honestly wasn't work I enjoyed doing. It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't really scalable. And then I had been always working on what I call today this legacy life flywheel. And that came from really connecting to purpose, as you brought up, because I believe you're on a mission, you have a purpose that only you can do. After decades of finally developing, I was able to help others live the life that I had been living. So it became duplicatable when an expert positioned themselves at the top of the leader hierarchy and aligned to their purpose-driven goals. It took technology, unique methodology to be able to market this $100,000 offer. And what I really love is this offer is so unique because unlike my prior offers, it's not paid up front. It's called a success share. It involves paying just a small amount. The rest is paid on results. And so that makes it a pioneer position in the industry. And I always love being a pioneer.
I love that. I know that many entrepreneurs think they need to have more offers, more launches, more content, but your framework simplifies this. What's the core mindset shift behind this $100,000 offer strategy?
It's incredible because I've been through all of those things attempting to scale. When I started to apply this formula that goes with the model, it made scaling easier than ever. Again, I started this software company in 1985. And at one point, I had a building, I had 15 staff. We were getting $1 million contracts. I was working for the government, Lottery Corporation, Walmart, JCPenney, Fortune 100 companies. However, every time I tried to scale, more staff was needed, the margins were diminishing. I was always looking for better ways. And then I ran across this method that I'm using right now. And it was a lifesaver because I was traveling around the world, 240 days speaking. As you said, I've spoken in 47 countries. And even though I started to charge these higher rates, work longer hours, I could never scale it because of the way it was delivered and the ultimate strategy behind it. So this new model is so formulaic that once we've tested the script, 90% of it can be hired out. It only takes 4 hours a week. It's revolutionary, and it can be done with a minimal amount of increase in time and money. So the mind shift that you need for your mindset, it really becomes about now the faith and belief in yourself, the transformation you provide for your client, and then the confidence to ask for the enrollment fee. And you really need to get that because they're going to buy somewhere. Wouldn't it be better that they bought from someone like you who is going to, of course, deliver this amazing transformation? And really, I love that with it being this success share, it makes it so much easier and scalable because the enrollment fee is like $12,500. That's only 12.5%. The rest is based on results. So it's out of profit, not pocket.
Love that. What are a few key elements that make an offer scalable and attractive to high-level clients or buyers?
So again, like a scalable offer and a business is the ability for you to be able to take time off, have the business continuing doing well without you. So when the programs you have in the business you build is, of course, dependent on you being there, delivering, selling, emailing, social mediaing, showing up on Zoom, networking, or no income will come in, this is, of course, a risk for disaster. And again, as somebody who has experienced multiple health crises with family members and weather incidences, fire, tornadoes, I feel like we're practically in this apocalyptic regime right now. You could end up bankrupt if you don't start focusing on scaling, because a lot of people think it's not important. I'm just going to do this. So what do? You want to keep your systems really simple in the beginning and then use a rinse and repeat method on what is actually working. So the step doesn't need to be hard, but the work has to be done. So you have to have first a clearly defined offer, premium price that attracts your exact buyer. The second thing you need to remember is high quality clients. They are attracted to certain price points, transformations, and results, right? So you need to clearly communicate those. You want to create an offer model where you're able to add more clients without doing more work, and then really focus on simplifying, not complicating like all that funnel stuff does, so you can build a business that runs without you.
I love that. Visibility is clearly a superpower of yours. You've been featured on national TV, Forbes, major platforms, like you were saying, speaking, I think you said 47 different countries. For someone who's building their brand, what visibility strategies do you recommend that actually move the needle?
That is a great question because this is where a lot of people get stuck. They either get stuck in technology or they're working on visibility without clarity on their goals, their offer, and then their focus on the right fit client. So I actually teach 10 major visibility options that I've mastered, as you can see. You mentioned I've been on every TV network, Forbes 27 times, spoken in 47 countries. All this exposure is awesome when you can leverage that visibility and drive to, the desired outcome, in this case coming perhaps to that workshop. And this is why this is the visibility method that I am recommending right now, and that is a 4-hour workshop. And I've switched to this model simply because it makes it simpler for you to drive all your campaigns to that, and for, of course, joint venture partners to join you on that journey. So it makes the promotional process super simple. And then visibility, which is really meant to increase the speed of your sales cycles, help you with scalability, improve your conversion rates, your audience engagement, and get you that consistent flow of leads and increase sales opportunities. It hits all the points. The other ones become piecemeal. As much as I love to do those ones, they didn't convert half as effectively as just doing a workshop, keeping it simple. That's that rinse and repeat scale method.
Got it. So yeah, because I found that too. Being on TV and things, it's nice for like social proof, but
Proof.
very few conversions from that actually. So
Yeah.
this summit that we're doing is all about building a 7-figure lifestyle, not just revenue, but fulfillment, time, freedom, and joy. What does that lifestyle look like for you personally, and what's helped you to maintain it while scaling your business?
Literally, my entire business revolves around what's called the legacy life flywheel. And that is these 8 steps to move you to that ultimate state that all entrepreneurs want, which is, of course, freedom. And then when you have accomplished that level of freedom, it's really about doing anything you want, where you want, when you want, with who you want, because you can afford the time and the money, including then philanthropy towards something that you want to spotlight. So this can add that purpose. And when you align your message to your purpose-driven goals, it helps to keep you focused, and it keeps your mission and your vision to that momentum that you're looking for so you can get there faster. It's really about having that ability to not just live comfortably, because you can't deliver from a state of overflow if you've got just enough for yourself. And here's the real reason why it's so incredibly powerful. And that is the power of choice that this lifestyle can now bring. Now, again, I've had this lifestyle for decades. My 3 kids, my husband works with me. We've traveled the world together. They have joined us. They have schooled.
Your kids are working
via.
with you?
What was that?
Kids work with you too, you're saying?
No, I wish my kids
I was
worked
like,
with
wow.
me. But when they were young, really, when they were young, they were actually internet schooled. This is decades before we all had to homeschool, right? Or before the pandemic said you had to remote school. We did that so that we could travel the world together as my 3 kids and my husband. That was the lifestyle that this has built us. And one of my clients I adore, her name is Adele Good. So in our program, she was living frugally. She was on Social Security, but her dream, which is what this legacy life is about, is getting paid to travel and enjoy, right? And so literally joins the program, sells 3 people at this $100,000 scale. And now she's lived in 8 countries since joining. She has had more money in her bank account than she can remember in the last 2 decades. And she gets paid to travel. That's when you're aligning and you're living that true freedom lifestyle. That's what you can accomplish when you have the right offer that is scalable, and it's really around what you want to share and what you've dreamed about.
I love that. Define for us legacy life. What does that mean to you?
So, a legacy life is, again, when you align your mission driven goals to the activities that you're participating in, right? So that you can get out this message that only you can do. So, you have a mission, you have a purpose that only you can do. That's the philosophy behind it. As you're living a legacy life, that literally means living out of a state of abundance to where your overflow is going to philanthropy and your freedom. So that's where you get to, and you're happy, you're joyful, you're exactly what you're talking about here. Your entire actions are embodying what you were put on this planet to serve. And that's how you just have that state of flow and abundance that is just unmistakable. And again, a lot of people think the word legacy, right, is beyond them. Well, you're building a legacy, whether you know it or not, right? You're making an impact, whether you know it or not. So you might as well do it with intention, and you might as well do it so that as people are watching you, that means you're living a legacy life, not leaving it.
I love that. So if someone is at six figures and they want to get to seven without burnout, what's one move they can make today that'll create the biggest shift?
Good question, because you can always hustle your way to six figures, but it takes focused strategy to get to seven. To avoid the getting stuck on that hamster wheel right now, I would literally do not start with the funnel marketing method. Everyone is telling you to do that. It worked 20 years ago. I was a high proponent of it. In fact, I was a master of it, but it's not working. Everything has changed. And that is what is going to keep you stuck in busyness, distracted with no focus, and it does not make the cash register ring. It's kind of this long-term cycle. And I liken it to Henry Ford, right? When he was building the assembly line, it's because he needed to get thousands and thousands of cars out in record time. Most people are building this enormous entity, and that's not where you are. You don't have those people yet. So I say just simplify, create that kind of success share model offer, put yourself at the top for authority, credibility, and then find three people who are willing to pay for what you do. Because as Zig Ziglar said, you can have everything in life that you want if you will just help enough people get what they want. That's what this model does. And it's so satisfying that you're serving others, you're gaining the benefits yourself. It just becomes a win-win for everyone.
That's so great. So you have a couple gifts for our attendees, something for everybody and something else for our VIPs. Can you share what you have for what you've so generously gifted?
I'm so excited. So for everyone, you're actually going to get a general admittance ticket to my 3-day event that is coming up. And so it is called Limitless Leader Live. The details will be there as you register. It's going to be 3 amazing days. I haven't done a 3-day now in 5 years, my first one. And it's just because the information that I have for you is just so important. It's going to take me 3 days to really fill you and educate you on how do you create that premium offer? How do you put together the packaging? How do you get that pioneer positioning in place? How do you promote it all? And take you through that 7-figure legacy life roadmap. That's for everybody. Then for the VIPs, I'm giving you one of my top selling programs. It's the Reach Millions Success Series. So what that is, it is 12 of my top trainings. They are specifically around a niche and with the integration of ChatGPT. Again, I've been at the forefront of technology, all of technology for the last 40 years, including this. And I really help you to, how do you use ChatGPT to target market and leads? How do you, as a speaker, use ChatGPT? How do you, as an author, use ChatGPT? How do you find your purpose-driven dreams? How do you really align your messaging? And then how do you leverage ChatGPT to do that? So there's 12 trainings and 12 exact planners, templates, guidebooks, whatever it is taking to get you those results easily. It's a $1,000 course. And again, it's included with your VIP membership.
Okay, y'all, that is incredible. So the VIP is just $97 and you get this plus thousands of dollars of other goodies. And you get to join us at our live event where you get to connect with these incredible speakers and other amazing women VIPs. So it's like a no-brainer. Definitely, if you have not yet, get your VIP ticket. And if you do have the VIP, make sure that you sign up for that. You click those links for the 3-day event. Everybody gets that 3-day event. That's everything that Tracy's talks about. She's going to break it down and show you how you do it at that 3-day event. So definitely take advantage of that. It'll be worth your time. And this very generous program. So thank you, Tracy. That's awesome. I'm really grateful for you for sharing this really practical system, and it's something that I've been following as well. So I know that it works. It's a really helpful to scale when you have 100, you're able to make an offer that's 100,000 that speaks to that uses your gifts and speaks to that perfect person. You basically need 10 people to get to have a 7-figure business, and then with the different visibility steps, then you can get a lot more than that. So it really helps to get out of chaos and burnout, have more clarity, simplicity, and alignment. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your brilliance with us and for being on the summit.
Thank you for having me. It's been a joy.
Yes, it has. Thank you. Wasn't that incredible? I love how Tracy reminds us that scaling isn't about doing more. It's about what matters most and doing it with joy. And remember, this is just one of 20 inspiring interviews from the 7-Figure Lifestyle Summit. We're in the middle of this series. And if these episodes have been lighting you up, then don't just listen, leap, take action. You can still get the entire VIP collection, every interview, every bonus, and over $4,000 in trainings and gifts and calls for just $99. Think of it as your private mentorship library, 20 extraordinary women showing you how to grow your business and your joy, all for less than a dinner out. So if something in you is saying, yes, I am ready for more, follow that nudge. Go to tinyurl.com/VIP 7-figure and get lifetime access today. It's not too late, and I'd love for you to experience all of this. Thank you for getting real with me today. Let's get real, scale with soul, and stay real.